Hello, everyone. It is I, Fable, your new best friend. I love Transformers. You have no idea. It's kind of fun to be able to react to this. Sooner or later, I'll do some Transformers stuff, but for now, I want to just mostly focus on the Transformers. If that's okay, if that's not okay, I don't care. I'm gonna fight you. I'm gonna fight you with these games. I'm kidding, guys. Seriously, though. I like Transformers, but it's kind of bringing me down. Anyway, Transformers. This dude looks adorable. I like the one. I like the one on the left. It's adorable. Who are you, bud?
This week's Patreon-sponsored episode comes courtesy of supporter Maple Samurai. They wanted the basics on a character who rarely gets a chance to shine,
Aww.
the Autobot's maintenance engineer, Hoist.
Hoist.
Let's take a look at how history treats a bot who's always blended into the background.
Oh, that's not sad.
The toy
I
that
like
would become Hoist was originally released as part of the Japanese Diaclone toy line, in which it was available in blue and red colours. The figure transformed into a Toyota Hilux pickup truck, so it was known by the clunky descriptor of four-wheel drive Hilux wrecker type. But when it was imported by Hasbro to become part of the second year of the Transformers toy line in 1985 and given a brand new green colour scheme, they decided Hoist was a snappier name. The toy was a modified version of the regular Diaclone Hilux figure, which turned into a camper van rather than a pickup truck, and had previously been imported in 1984 to become the Autobot Trailbreaker. You'd be hard-pressed to figure this out.
For those of you that don't know, freaking Trailbreaker is actually in the current Skybound comic. I think it's kind of interesting.
Based on the character designs created for the animated series, though. Trailbreakers took much greater artistic liberty with the toy's proportions, but Hoist's, like most of the second-year characters, was drawn to better resemble the figure, with the end result being that the two characters don't look anything alike.
True.
Marvel Comics writer Bob Budiansky penned Hoist's profile, characterizing him as the Autobot's jovial and dedicated head of maintenance, responsible for keeping his fellow bots in tip-top condition.
I like it.
Now, no origin was offered for Hoist when he appeared in the second season of the animated series. He and most of the new 1985 characters just showed up out of nowhere one day, as if they'd always been there.
Okay.
These new cast members quickly took over the show, though, each enjoying multiple spotlight adventures. Hoist memorably partnered with Autobot architect Grapple to help build his solar power tower, travelled back in time to the Middle Ages with Warpath, and in his own personal solo episode, briefly enjoyed Hollywood stardom when he caught the eye of a movie director who was inspired to cast him in his new film, only for the Decepticons to crash the set.
Aw, man.
Hoist did receive a proper origin in the Marvel comic. There, he was one of several Autobots who, millions of years ago, allowed Optimus Prime to copy their consciousnesses onto storage crystals, so that he could bring them with him when he left Cybertron in case he needed reinforcements. As it happened, he did, so new bodies were constructed on Earth, and Hoist and the other Autobots' minds were implanted into them. On his first mission out, Hoist helped save rock star Brick Springstern's concert from the Decepticons, but after that, he receded into a background role.
Aw, poor guy.
Poor old Hoist's toy was only on shelves for a year, and after it was discontinued in 1986, he just stopped appearing in the cartoon, while in the Marvel comic, he was offlined by the cosmically powered Starscream.
Every time.
That was pretty much the end of Hoist's story, barring a brief reappearance in 1997
Jeez,
in
man, that's so
unrecognizable
sad.
form as part of the Machine Wars toy line. The first new incarnation of Hoist to be introduced was featured in Transformers Armada in 2003. But as was par for the course for a lot of characters from this series who reused pre-existing names, this Hoist didn't have any connection to the original. When the valiant Autobot crane Smokescreen was fatally damaged by Megatron wielding the super powerful Requiem blaster, Medic Red Alert had no choice but to remove Smokescreen's spark so he could rebuild his irreparably damaged body from scratch. In this new form, Smokescreen took on a new name. Now, he was Hoist. Despite the fact that, with his new Excavator alternate mode, he no longer had a winch with which to hoist anything. The ill-fitting name was also initially overlooked by the infamously slipshod English dub of the show. Smokescreen didn't get renamed in the episode in which he gained his new form, with this random exchange only happening offhandedly 8 episodes later.
Hoist, how does your new name fit your new reformatting?
It fits just fine, Commander.
You'll notice Hoist has red and grey accents in the cartoon. The Hasbro toy, in contrast, was orange and brown, but the version released in Japan matched the show. Inappropriate as the name might be for him, Armada Hoist is, at present, really the only significant holder of it outside of Generation 1. A live-action movie universe Hoist, faithfully rendered in his classic colours, made a fleeting appearance in the first movie's PSP video game, which led to a toy in the Revenge of the Fallen line in 2009. That same year, in Transformers Animated, an Autobot actor was briefly seen playing a Decepticon in a propaganda film. Ancillary Media later identified the Autobot as an animated version of Hoist, in a joking reference to the original short-lived time as an actor in the Generation 1 cartoon. Even IDW Publishing's comic books never found a role for Hoist, as he spent years just hovering in the background, even after he joined the crew of the starship Lost Light in the popular series More Than Meets the Eye. The release of a new Trailbreaker toy in the Transformers Generations line in 2013, however, provided an opportunity for Hoist to briefly come to the fore again. Just as had been the case with their Generation 1 toys, the new Trailbreaker figure was retooled to become a new Hoist, which came with a pack-in comic book set in the IDW universe. This comic saw Hoist saving a group of Autobots from a machine that made their worst fears come to life, in the process confronting his own greatest fear of isolation and loneliness. But it was most notable for its assessment of Hoist's character, making a bit of a metatextual joke about his lack of major roles in Transformers history by playing him up as a thoroughly ordinary bot, just a normal guy who lacked the exaggerated personalities that define so many other Transformers, who was happy to blend into the background and just get on with life. But soon, Hoist is going to have his chance to step into the spotlight once again. Back in 2012, over in the Aligned continuity, the Rescue Bots toy line introduced its own incarnation of Hoist. A tow truck once more, but a blue one, though a later 2016 figure added classic-style orange and green decals to his paint job. Even with multiple toys to his name, the character never transitioned into the small cast of the Rescue Bots cartoon. But later this year, he's finally going to make that leap, as one of a team of new, young Rescue Bot recruits, who will be the stars of the sequel series, Rescue Bots Academy. It's not as if they're strong competition, but this looks set to be Hoist's biggest role in a Transformers series ever. It just goes to show, even after over 30 years, you never know what classic character is going to get a fresh chance to roll to the rescue. And those are the basics on Hoist. Thanks to Maple Samurai for sponsoring an episode about a character who doesn't get enough love. Share your love for Hoist in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe because now...
Honestly, I love Hoist. Hoist sounds like a cool guy. I kind of wish he could have got more love, but they all can't be winners, sadly. Anyway, guys, if you like this kind of content, please do let me know. I love you all. I'll see you all later. Bye. Be good people, guys. The world sucks. Please, for the love of God, be good people.